Handling characteristics. How the vehicle is responds with the steering commands. Clear? How the vehicle is responds with the steering commands, and what are the environmental input. So what are the environmental input? One few example is when the vehicle is taking a turn. So what is that one? The side force, it will be acting there. Correct? That is environmental input. And another thing is that one, if it is the vehicle is moving over a banked road, so again it is subjected to a side force. Clear? So these are the environmental effects that cause the or that will affect the direction of motions. So usually there is two basic quality in the ride motion of a vehicle. One is to control the directional motion of a vehicle. How we can be control the direction of motion of the vehicle? By giving a steering input. So the direction of motion of the vehicle we are giving by means of steering input. Correct? And second thing is that one, its ability to stabilize the vehicle against the external disturbance. So external disturbance may be road camber, external disturbance may be taking a curve, external disturbance may be taking a sudden brake. Clear? So these are the external disturbances. How the vehicle is to stabilize its direction. So our main aim is to keep the directional stability. Our main aim is to keep the vehicle direction stability. How the vehicle is able to make stabilize to its direction when the external disturbances. Now, so here there is a simple handling models of 2 degree of freedom, yaw plane model. So what is 2 degree of freedom means? What is 2 degree of freedom? You know that now you are studying with the vibration. Two independent variable which is required to describe the one dependent variable. Correct? Is that correct or not? So what is yaw plane model? What is yaw? With respect to the z axis, the vehicle motion is called the yaw. Correct? What is plane? Assume that the vehicle is moving with respect to the vehicle is tilting with respect to the z axis. Clear? Then we are assumed this yaw plane model. So we assumed only that yaw motion of a vehicle. Clear? Now assume that this bicycle model, what is called in another terms we called it as a bicycle model. Another term we called it as a bicycle model. Correct? And when the vehicle speed is higher, first I have to explain what is this one. The overall wheelbase of the vehicle is L. The overall wheelbase of the vehicle is L. The overall wheelbase of a vehicle is L. The distance between the front wheel and the center of gravity is B. The front wheel distance between the rear wheel and the center of gravity is C. Now we know that when the vehicle is taking a turn, two axles meet at a point, one common point. That point is called the instantaneous center. Actually it is not for understanding purpose I given here. So when the vehicle is taking a turn, the vehicle will rotate with respect to one radius. Clear? So this radius is called R is called the radius of turn. R is called the radius of turn. Clear? And what is L? I told you wheelbase, B and C. Clear? Now when the vehicle is to be taking a turn, we have to give one input. What is the input? We have to give the steer. We have to give the steer angle. Clear? So at high speed, the steer angle of two wheels. The steer angle of two wheels. We are giving steering input to the one wheel only. Assuming that this steering input delta is given to one wheel only, front axle. Clear? And another thing is, what is the steering angle? The angle between the tire plane and the longitudinal axis. Clear? The angle between the tire plane and the longitudinal axis is called the steer angle delta. Correct? Steer angle delta. Now, there is, if the vehicle is moving, taking a turn, there is a possibility of slip angle. So what is that slip angle? The angle between the tire plane and the vehicle forward velocity, not longitudinal axis, vehicle forward velocity. The angle between the tire plane and the vehicle forward velocity. So that is called the alpha slip angle. That is called the alpha slip angle. Now, for a four-wheeled vehicle, when it is taking a turn, when the speed is higher, this radius of turn is much greater than that of the wheelbase. At a higher speed, when the vehicle is taking a turn, the radius of turn which is much greater than that of the wheelbase. The first point. Second thing, so these two, the slip angle of inner and outer of the front wheel. The slip angle of inner and outer of the front wheel, the difference is negligible. So assumed that, so for the inner wheel the slip angle is for alpha f, and the outer rear wheel the slip angle is alpha r. Actually we have to make it is, if it is a four-wheel model, we have to make it to, what is that one? Alpha f inner, alpha f outer. Alpha r inner, alpha r outer, two wheels. So that the slip angle between the two inner and outer wheel is assumed it as same, so that these two wheels is taken it as a one plane. So that is why we called it as a bicycle model. Clear? Now when you are superimposing the all angles, for example, this is a vehicle longitudinal axis. This is a vehicle longitudinal axis. So this one is the vehicle longitudinal axis. This one is the front tire plane. Tire plane line. Correct? This one is the front tire plane line. So this one is the longitudinal axis, x-axis. Clear? So the angle between these two is called delta. Correct, sir? Now the angle between the tire plane and the vehicle forward velocity. The angle between the tire plane, this is the vehicle forward velocity at Vf. This is Vf. The angle between the vehicle forward velocity and the tire plane of the front is called the slip angle of the front one. Clear? The angle between the rear forward velocity Vr, the angle between the rear forward velocity Vr and then rear tire plane is called the slip angle at the rear. It's called the slip angle at the rear. So from when you are superimposing this one, the angle between these two, what is the angle between these two vehicle forward velocity? The angle between the vehicle forward velocity Vf and Vr is equal to L. Clear? The angle between this forward velocity of the front, forward velocity of the rear. So from the geometry we can delta is equal to alpha L by R plus alpha F. Delta is equal to L by R plus alpha F minus alpha R. You can see from here. Delta is equal to L by R plus alpha f minus alpha r. Delta is equal to, this delta is equal to L by R plus alpha f minus alpha r. Clear? Now, due to this, when the vehicle is taking a turn, clear? When the vehicle is taking a turn, what is the centrifugal force? This is lateral force. Acting in which direction? Correct. F, Y, F. When the vehicle is taking a turn, clear? So the centrifugal force is acting at the tire contact plane. Lateral force. When the vehicle is taking a turn, like this, lateral force, it will be acting in this direction. Correct? So this lateral force is opposed by centripetal acceleration. So this lateral force, what is called Fy, is a summation of lateral force at the front. Fyf plus Fyr is equal to centripetal acceleration. What is acceleration? Mass into mass times force equal to mass times acceleration Ay. So that is equal to mass into the centripetal acceleration is equal to V square by R. Velocity square by R. So this one Fyf plus Fyr. Clear? So you take it as equation 1. Where V is a forward velocity, R is a radius of turn. Clear? So taking moments with respect to the central point, that is sigma m is equal to 0. So with respect to this center of gravity, what we can write is Fyf into B is equal to R minus Fyr into C equal to 0. Correct? Fyf into B minus Fyr into C equal to 0. You can see Fyf multiplied by this B, then Fyr multiplied by this C. This is clockwise direction, so this is anti-clockwise direction. Correct? So now from you can take it as this is equation number 2. This is equation number 2. From this equation we can say that Fyf is equal to Fyr into C by B. Correct? Equation number 3. C by B. When you are substituting this one to equation 1, we can say that equation 1 m V square by R is equal to Fyr into C by B plus Fyr. Correct? When you are substituting here. Now m into V square by R is equal to Fyr into C by B plus 1. Correct? So Fyr into B plus C by B. Correct? M into V square by R is equal to Fyr into L by B. Fyr into L by B, so that Fyr is equal to, what is that one? M into B by L into V square by R. So we know that when you are dealing with chapter 1 and chapter 3, that is this MB by L is equal to what? You can see it from here. M into B by L. The load portion carried out by the rear wheel. The load portion is carried out by the rear wheel. For example, instead of this one, you can take it as W by G. Clear? If you are taking M mass equal to W by G, correct? W is equal to mg, then m is equal to W by G. So this, if you are taking in terms of W, this is equal to WR by G. Because you can see, this one W is, R is acting, W into B by L is equal to what? W into B by L is equal to WR. You can see it from here. I will tell you. W. Here is W. Correct? This one is WF. This one is WR. Clear? So this one is B. This one is C. WR is equal to what? WB by LA. Correct? So you can take it as this one is equal to mass into G into B by LA over G. Correct? So this mg we are taking this one. This mg is a W. This mg is equal to W. So we can substitute here. This is equal to W by G. WR is equal to W by LA. Correct? So you can take it as W by G, WR by G, W by G into B by LA. Clear? So this W by G is equal to, clear? W by G is equal to mass, M into B by LA. Correct? So we can substitute here WR by G into V square by R. Clear? This is equation number 4. So this equation number, it says that the portion of the mass carried out by the rear wheel, the portion of the weight carried out by the rear wheel multiplied by the centripetal acceleration or multiplied by the lateral acceleration at this point. Clear? So we can be say this equation is equal to WR by G into AY in terms of acceleration. Now similarly FYF is equal to what? WF by G times lateral acceleration. Correct? Or otherwise M into C by L into V square by R. Correct? So this is equation, you take it as 4A. The previous one is 4. This one is 4. This one is 4A. Correct? Now we know that from the basic in the tire model, the lateral force FYF is equal to C alpha F into alpha F. What is called C alpha F? Cornering stiffness. Cornering stiffness equal to the lateral force over the slip angle. Clear? Similarly, FYR is equal to C alpha R. FYR is equal to C alpha R into alpha R. Cornering stiffness equal to load, lateral load, cornering force over the slip angle. This cornering force equal to stiffness into slip angle. So you can take it as equation number 5. Clear? So from this equation we can identify what is alpha F is equal to, from this equation, FYF divided by C alpha F. Correct? Then alpha R is equal to FYR divided by C alpha R. Clear? Equation 6, 7. From the figure already we derived alpha delta is equal to, already we derived first one. What we discussed? Delta is equal to L by R plus alpha F minus alpha R. Delta is equal to L by R plus alpha F minus alpha R. When you are substituting this value 6 and 7, this is equation number 8. When you are substituting this value, so delta is equal to, steer angle is equal to L by R plus FYF divided by C alpha F minus FYR divided by C alpha R. Correct? So FYF is equal to what? From equation 4 and 4A. So from equation 4, we know that delta is equal to L by R plus WR by G into C alpha F into V square by R minus WF WR by G C alpha F, clear, into V square by R. So we can say that L by R L by R plus WF divided by C alpha F minus WR divided by C alpha R over or whole bracket V square by GR. Clear? Delta. So this common term, the difference between the weight acting on the front axle over the cornering stiffness, weight acting at the rear axle divided by cornering stiffness, this one you take it as delta is equal to L by R plus K into V square by GR. Clear? So V square by R is equal to what? L by R plus K into AY by G. 9. V square by R is equal to lateral acceleration. Lateral acceleration. So here delta is the steer angle, L is the wheelbase, R is the radius of turn, WS and WF and WR is the reaction at the front and rear wheel, R load acting on the front and rear wheel, C alpha F, C alpha R are the cornering stiffness of the front and rear wheel, and V is the vehicle forward speed, R is the radius of turn, G is the acceleration due to the gravity. Clear? Where AY is the lateral acceleration. So this K is called a understeer gradient. This is called a understeer gradient. So it is very important for predicting the handling behavior of the vehicle. This is a very important parameter for predicting the handling behavior of the vehicle, that is called the understeer coefficient, not gradient, understeer coefficient. Clear? So what is called the understeer? Here we are giving delta is equal to L by R plus WF divided by C alpha F, WR divided by C alpha R, V square by GR. This we derived, correct? And this whole term we taken it as K. Clear? And this V square by R is equal to AY, the G is coming. Understeer gradient. So K is called a understeer coefficient or understeer gradient. Clear? Understeer gradient. K is understeer gradient. So what is the unit? Definition we know that. What is that one? WF divided by C alpha F minus WR divided by C alpha R. What is the unit of WF? W, what is the unit of W? Newton. What is the unit of C alpha? Newton per degree. Fy is equal to C alpha into alpha. Clear? So this one is Newton. This one is degree. Clear? So C alpha is equal to Newton per degree. Correct? And there is one more term multiplied with this. What is that one? By G when applicable in the equation. Correct? AY by G. This G you have to take it here. So this unit is coming here. What is that one? Degree per G. Degree per G. Degree in G units. Degree per G acceleration. Correct? And then AY is called a lateral acceleration. So what we say that? In G units. So finally we can get the degree. Because our input is, what is that one? Delta. Steering angle. We need a G only. We need degree only. Correct? Now, so this understeer gradient. Now I have to tell you 3 cases. Case 1. When K is equal to 0. So, first we have to see this equation. When the K is equal to 0. When K is equal to 0, W F divided by C alpha F is equal to WR divided by C alpha R. Clear? When K is equal to 0. So, what is WF? Again we come. Here. Come again. What is C alpha F? F divided by C alpha F. Correct? Alpha R is equal to FYR divided by C alpha R. WF over G into C alpha F. Correct? Minus WR divided by G into C alpha R. Correct? We can say that this implies that alpha F is equal to alpha R. G is equal to constant. So when you are WF divided by G, WF divided by C alpha is equal to 0 means alpha F is equal to alpha R. Clear? Alpha F is equal to alpha R. Then from the equation 9, we can see that delta is equal to L over R. Delta is equal to L over R, irrespective of the vehicle speed. So when the K is equal to 0, the WF divided by C alpha F, WR divided by C alpha R equal, and the alpha F is equal to alpha R. Then the steer angle required to turn is purely Ackermann steer angle. L by R is called the Ackermann steer angle. Clear? It is irrespective of the vehicle speed. So that this behavior of the vehicle is called a neutral steer. This behavior of the vehicle is called a neutral steer. Whatever the vehicle speed, clear? You can say whatever the vehicle speed from this equation, when the vehicle speed is 10 km per hour, it will not do anything for the steer angle. Vehicle speed is 20 km per hour. It will not do anything with respect to the steer angle because the entire term is 0. Clear? Now when you are making the speed versus slip angle. When you are making the speed versus slip angle. So when you are making, so what are the things? From the equation 9, delta speed, correct? Here is a speed, here is a delta. So when you are making speed versus slip angle, here is speed, here is delta. Whatever the speed, when K is equal to 0, this is L by R. It will not move up, it will not move down. Clear, sir? You understand? So this behavior, when K is equal to 0, this behavior is called a neutral steer. So when the vehicle is taking a turn, now this is 1, delta versus speed. So the speed, it will not make any difference. The vehicle, it will go directly with the true rolling motion that is given by Ackermann steering. And the second, if the vehicle is taking a turn, what will happen? If K is equal to 0, the driver has to be fixed the steering wheel. No need to change according to the side force. No need to change according to the side force because the K is equal to 0. So if he has to fix the steering wheel, then it will make a constant radius of turn without deviate from the radius of turn. Clear? So when you are making turn, you should keep. That's all. No need to give any input according to the vehicle drive. Correct? Second point. And third point, when the vehicle is moving over straight line motion. So here we have to take 3 things. We have to make 3 things. One is when K is equal to 0. Clear? K K is equal to 0. WF divided by C alpha F is equal to WR divided by C alpha R. Then alpha F is equal to alpha R. Clear? This is the concept. So this is called a neutral, in neutral. And this first case is delta versus speed, straight line. Second turn the curve, it will be making constant radius of turn. Radius of turn is equal to constant. So no need to give any steering input. And when the vehicle is moving over a straight line, when the vehicle is moving over the straight line, the vehicle is moving, so when the side force is acting, vehicle is moving over a straight line, vehicle is moving over a straight line, when the side force is acting, the vehicle, it will move one straight line, the vehicle it will be move when straight line, fixed line, the vehicle will be move in the fixed line according to the what is the side force is acting. So this is A, B, C, then behavior. I'll see. First I'm explaining, then I'll show you. So first case is this one. When K is equal to greater than 0, when K is greater than 0, from this equation 9, when the K will be greater than 0 means what? So this term is greater than 0 means, this term is greater than 0 means, which is higher than, which is lower, higher, which is lower. WF divided by C alpha F is greater than the WR divided by C alpha R. Then only the K will be positive. If K is equal to greater than 0 means, you can see it here. This is a K value. When K is equal to greater than 0 means, this term is higher than this one. Correct? So, case 1, WF divided by C alpha F is greater than WR divided by C alpha R. And alpha F is greater than alpha R, or alpha R is greater than alpha F. Because WF is directly relation to the FY. Clear? FY is directly relation to the this weight transfer. So alpha F is greater than that of the alpha R. So this behavior is called a understeer. This behavior is called a understeer. Now when the K is greater than 0, from this equation, when the K is greater than 0, from equation number 9, when the K is greater than 0, the steer angle is increases with the square of the vehicle speed. So this is positive, sir. This is positive. This term is positive. Then when the vehicle speed is increases, the delta steer angle is increases with the square of the vehicle speed. Clear? The delta F is required to the delta is the steering angle. The steer angle is increases with the square of the vehicle speed. When K is positive, then in this case there is, in this case, so what is that one? This one with the square of the vehicle already one straight line is there, L by R. Then with the L by R, again with this speed, it will go like a parabola. Clear? So it will go like a parabola. This curve, delta curve, this is delta curve. Delta curve, it will go like a parabola. Now, when you are taking a radius of turn, when you are taking a turn, when you are taking a turn, this one is constant. Clear? This is R is equal to constant. When you are taking a turn, the turning radius increases than that of the neutral steer, understeer. So the turning radius is increases than that of the neutral steered vehicle. Clear? And when the vehicle is in straight line, the same. The vehicle is in a straight line. The vehicle is in a straight line motion. The centrifugal force is acting on this one. Already the neutral steer is that one. Clear? Already the speed is there. The vehicle direction is moving away from the vehicle direction is moving away from the applied force. This is side force or Fy. This the vehicle direction is moving. This is neutral. This is understeer. The vehicle direction is moving away from the applied force. Clear? This is case 2. Now case 3. When k is less than 0, negative. When the k is negative. So what we can see this? Wf divided by C alpha f is less than that of Wr divided by C alpha r. Correct? This term is negative means Wf divided by C alpha f is less than that of Wr divided by C alpha r. Clear? First thing. And the second thing is alpha f is less than alpha r. That is slip angle of the front is less than that of the slip angle of the rear. So this behavior is called a oversteer. This behavior is called a oversteer. Clear? So when the k is negative, here, when the k is negative, so the steer angle delta is reducing with respect to the square of the vehicle speed. Sir, this one is negative, sir. This one is negative means this is a vehicle speed, lateral acceleration, correct? This is the vehicle speed. The delta is, because it's a negative multiplied by vehicle speed square. The speed is reduced, correct? So it will be reduced than that of like this. This is oversteer. Clear? And the second thing, when the vehicle is taking a turn, this is a neutral steer, constant radius of turn. This is understeer. The radius of turn is greater than that of the neutral steer. And when the vehicle is taking a turn, the radius of turn is reduced than that of neutral. So this is oversteered vehicle. And the next third behavior, when the vehicle is moving over a straight line, the side force Fy is acting here. Clear? So due to this F, there is one direction. This is called a neutral steer. Then the direction of motion of the vehicle is away from the applied force is called the understeer. Clear? In this case, the direction of motion of the vehicle is opposing. The direction of vehicle motion is opposing or opposite to that of the applied side force. Oppositing that of the applied side force, that is called the oversteered vehicle. Now, we say that from this equation, the first case is neutral steer, correct? Second case is understeer. Third case is oversteer. Now you understand what is neutral steer, what is understeer, what is oversteer, what are his behavior, what is the handling characteristics is affected, the handling characteristics how affected by this understeer gradient. Now already L by R is there. Delta is equal to L by R plus K into V square by GR. So when K is positive, this term, this second term is increasing with the vehicle speed. Correct? at particular speed, delta is equal to L by R, the first term. And the second term is increasing with the vehicle speed. Correct? For the understeered vehicle, at particular speed, this is equal to L by R. So, delta is equal to 2L by R. At particular speed, because this one approaches to the Ackermann steering. The second term is approaches to the Ackermann steering. The speed at which delta is equal to 2L by R at the speed at which delta is equal to 2L by R is called a characteristic speed. This is called a characteristic speed. Clear? Similarly, for oversteered vehicle, the second term is reducing with the square of the vehicle speed. At particular speed, delta is equal to L by R minus L by R. Clear? At particular speed. Similar, same concept. The second term is increasing, but the value is negative, positive for the first case, value is negative for the second case. So, this second term approaches to L by R. The steer angle required is, the steer angle of the first front wheel is, the steer angle of the vehicle is 0. The steer angle of the vehicle is 0. The speed at which the steer angle is equal to 0 is called a critical speed. So, we found so far bicycle model, then derivation of steer angle required for this one, and handling behavior for understeered vehicle, neutral steered vehicle, understeered vehicle, oversteered vehicle. So each one we have to find out what is each one we have to find what is the K value. When the K is equal to 0, neutral steer, greater than 0, understeer, less than 0, oversteer. Then WF divided by C alpha F is equal to WR divided by C alpha R for the first case. WF divided by C alpha F is greater than WR divided by C alpha R for the second case. WF by C alpha F is less than WF divided by C alpha R for the third case. Clear? Alpha F is equal to alpha R first case. Alpha F is greater than the alpha R second case. Alpha F is less than alpha R third case. Clear? Now delta versus steer angle versus speed. The first case, irrespective of the vehicle speed, the steer angle is maintained constant. The second case, with respect to the vehicle speed, the steer angle is required. The steer angle is increases with the square of the vehicle speed. The third case, the steer angle is decreases with the square of the vehicle speed. Clear? And next behavior. When the vehicle taking a turn, the radius of turn is constant. The radius of turn is constant, so that the driver has to keep the steering wheel in a fixed position. First case. Second case, the vehicle, the turning radius is greater than that of the neutral steer, so that the driver has to adjust the steer angle towards the constant radius of turn. He has to take the turn against. He has to take the turn against the how much it is deviated. He has to take a turn or take the turn inward. And when the oversteered vehicle, the radius of turn is less than that of the neutral steer, so the driver has to adjust the steering away from the turn. And next behavior is when the vehicle is moving over a straight line. When the vehicle is moving over a straight line, when the side force is acting at the center of gravity, for a neutral steered vehicle, the vehicle will deviate according to how much side force is acting. Clear? For understeered vehicle, when the side force is acting over when the vehicle is moving straight line, the vehicle moves away from the side force. The vehicle moves away from the side force. This is for the neutral understeer. For oversteered vehicle, when the side force is acting for a straight line path, the vehicle should be towards the applied side force. The vehicle should be towards the applied side force. These are the, and from this equation, the speed at which steer angle is equal to 2L by R is called the characteristic speed, that is described for the understeered vehicle. The speed at which delta is equal to 0, that is called the critical speed, is for the oversteered vehicle. Correct? So we will see these are the behavior. So delta F is equal to L by R. So this is for the neutral steered vehicle. It is moving. This is a steer angle with respect to the speed. Steer angle with respect to the speed. For neutral steered vehicle, it goes L by R. This is for the neutral steered vehicle. Clear? And for the understeer vehicle, it is increases. It is increases up to 2L by R. So this 2L by R, the speed is called a characteristic speed. For understeered vehicle, for oversteered vehicle, it is decreases with the vehicle speed. At the speed at which delta is equal to 0, at the speed at which delta is equal to 0, that is called a critical speed. Clear? So this is speed versus steering angle. Then this is when the vehicle is moving over a curved path. For a neutral steered vehicle, the constant radius of turn, constant R is here, R here is the same. But for a understeered vehicle, the radius of turn here is greater than the radius of turn here. For oversteered vehicle, the radius of turn is here is less than that of the here, neutral steer. So this is greater than, this is greater than, this is less than. And when a vehicle is moving over a straight line path, the side force is acting at the point of center of gravity. For a neutral steered vehicle, it is moving like this. Understeered vehicle, this is moving away from the force applied. For oversteered vehicle, it is towards the force applied. Correct, sir? Now, characteristic speed. Characteristic speed, delta is equal to L by R plus K into V square by GR. V square by GR or V square by R. Correct? So this is equal to L by R plus the steer angle required to turn 2L by R. That is, I told the definition. Correct? K into V square by GR. R will cancel. Correct? L is equal to K into V square by G. V is equal to root of GL by K. This is called a characteristic. Correct? Then this is for the understeered vehicle. For oversteered vehicle, delta is equal to 0. Delta is equal to 0. So 0 is equal to L by R plus K into V square by GRA. RR will be cancelled. So V critical is equal to square root of GL by minus K. Correct? GL by minus K. Clear, sir? Any doubt?